The world leaders have agreed that we are now in the midst of a new industrial revolution powered by the information technology. And we know that China has many of the IT giants such as Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, but not every BRICS member is as competitive. So what role does China play among the BRICS countries on this? Is it a leader or a business partner or actually a potential competitor?
In many areas, China now is taking the lead. However, other countries also catching up. As I attended Minister Industries meeting in Hangzhou, also Minister of Trade meeting in Shanghai for BRICS, I listened to all the comments from those countries. I find out actually those countries concerned about the open market, and China will actually join in or occupy the market. And they will be in a much inferior position. However, I believe that is not the case. China now play a leading role in e-commerce in some areas. China would like to open this to all BRICS countries. This is a very good policy. And then this is a kind of promotion of the cooperation among the 5 countries. Other countries can have the opportunity to learn to catch up.
So it seems that some of the BRICS countries are trying to launch protectionist policies on this. How did you somehow convince them out of this idea on the meetings?
And we now actually work together with BRICS countries. They are all important members of UNIDO. We organize them together with certain technology forum, and especially started from the Russia and the Brazil. They established a kind of technology transfer forum, and then this forum is exactly to support the small medium enterprises to adapt to the new situation, because they are in a very, very low level of the opportunities. If they not catch up, this e-commerce or those cannot move ahead. We conducted a large number of the such kind of activities in each of the countries. I believe that only they work together, share among themselves, that will lead to the win-win situation. However, of course, at the beginning, understanding each other, supporting each other is very important. That is why the summit will discuss how to work together, cooperate each other.
Let's get you more perspective now on the significance of the BRICS Summit. I'm joined live from our Johannesburg studios by Dr. David Monyai. He's the co-director of the University of Johannesburg's Confucius Institute. Dr. Monyai, thank you for joining us on Africa Live. So just how significant is this year's BRICS Summit when compared to previous summits?
I think this is quite important for the mere sake that the global economy is still undergoing enormous challenges, facing enormous challenges, as well as Africa itself requires more assistance in terms of development finance and quite a number of global issues that require collective action. And this is one such action from the global south. And Africa and most people on the ground are looking forward to the outcome of this BRICS summit.
Well, Dr. Monyai, we've seen the new development bank recently launched in South Africa. So how will that likely benefit the South African economy, especially given its recent troubles and its recession?
The bank has been launched quite recently, so it is really hard to measure in terms of its success and failures. But one is looking at the outcomes of previous BRICS summits, in which it was aimed to alleviate infrastructural gaps on the African continent. As you are aware, only 12% of Africa's trade is with each other, and more development finance is needed. And one is expecting that the BRICS Bank, or the NDB, will play a critical role in terms of availing sufficient resources required to close the infrastructural gap for Africa's own development. But more importantly, our understanding of development finance need to go far beyond just money. The bank, particularly the BRICS Bank, it's supposed also to be a knowledge hub to help Africa's infrastructure development in terms of project preparation, as well as dealing with project to reach a bankability stage. I think if the bank behaves in a manner that it is sensible and sensitive to question of environment, dealing with issues of appropriate knowledge in assisting to close this gap, it will go a long way in assisting Africa in line with its own Agenda 2063.
Well, we've seen a number of other non-BRICS members, non-BRICS member countries being invited to this year's summit in Xiamen, and we've also got this new concept of BRICS Plus. So how will that benefit other developing countries in the world?
I think it is important to bring more members. One could only speak for Africa. You have only South Africa, but it would be important to have countries such as Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, Kenya, quite critical countries that could contribute meaningfully within BRICS and ensure that the global South have institutions such as development finance in dealing with critical issues of development. At UN level, we're talking about the SDGs. I think for the African continent to achieve most of the SDG, more is required in infrastructure, physical infrastructure, to ensure that those who get on the market, they'll do it sufficiently, efficiently, and it will also increase trade, not just among African countries, but also with other developing countries. In case of Africa, we're talking about the Latin America, as well as to ensure that the entire Asia does get finished goods from the continent instead of getting raw material, as the case at the moment.
All right, Dr. David Monyai joining us there from Johannesburg. Thank you.